Today, California voters decide the fate of Governor Gavin Newsom in the state's second ever gubernatorial recall election, just the fourth that we've seen in the U.S. history.
Yeah, that's right. And here to discuss is California Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber, in her first national broadcast interview as Secretary of State. Welcome to you, Secretary Weber. We appreciate your time today. We've already heard from the leading Republican candidate, Larry Elder, who has said that when it comes to election fraud, and I'll quote him here, there might very well be shenanigans, unquote. He's also set up a section of his website for voters to report alleged problems. Can you talk about what your state has done, what you have done to ensure that these elections are going to be secure?
Well, California has probably the safest elections of any state in the nation, even though we're the largest state. We have a lot of things in place. We check, we recheck, we verify all of our machines that are being used. We use special paper for our ballots. We have a system. We train all of our workers. Our staff works around the clock to make sure that any question that's asked is answered. So we work very hard to make it secure.
Do you always, maybe you even have to hold your tongue sometimes, but do you feel like you have an obligation not just to do your job well to combat some of the allegations, but do you also feel like you have a responsibility and want to speak up and defend yourself, not just with your work, but through your words?
Well, we defend ourselves. When it's necessary, we defend the process. We defend what we're doing. We understand why folks attack, because they want to obviously rally the crowd to make themselves a better candidate. But we do defend ourselves. And as the Secretary of State, I'm a strong advocate for voting rights. My parents did not get a chance to vote when they were adults living in Arkansas. And so I know what it's like when you've been denied an opportunity to vote. And we respect the Voting Rights Act, and we are arming our folks across the state to understand where we are in this nation and just how precious voting really is and how dangerous it is to attack voting without any evidence of fraud or mistreatment.
Well, very powerful statement there, Secretary Weber. A lot of people, of course, all eyes are going to be on California, but a lot of people wondering when we might get those election results. And are you confident that we will have a clear winner by day's end, or by the evening at least?
Well, we're not sure if there'll be a clear winner by the day's end. We hope there is one, because we have an awful lot of ballots that are coming in. We have over 8 million ballots thus far that have actually come in through the mail. And so we have our overseas information. We will probably know exactly the direction the election is going, we hope, by the end of the evening. We're hopeful that we'll have information, but we are committed to basically counting every ballot that comes in, and we officially will not know for 30 days. But I know you folks will predict it before the end of the evening, because that's pretty standard. That's pretty standard.
Okay, we're going to follow your lead. We can't wait 30 days, though, Secretary.
Well, I know that. I know that. I know that. So that's why I say you folks will predict it before we do, but we have to count every ballot.
And ma'am, something about your system out there, that I'll say this the best way I can. It's possible that Gavin Newsom could get more people voting in his favor than the Republican candidate gets, but he could still lose. There's just a system where it's two different questions asked. Do you want him to be removed, yes or no? And then you vote for the person possibly that you want to replace him. Do you think there's a quirk in the system here that needs to be changed? Because some people might, depending on how this turns out, you could end up with Gavin Newsom actually losing to somebody that got fewer votes.
There's no question that this system is over 100 years old. We haven't revised it in 100 years. And after the recall in 2003, people committed themselves to look at it again. I am committed to making sure that we look at it and that we look at what is happening with recalls in California, that we do improve that system, because it is somewhat quirky in that sense that Gavin Newsom could actually lose, and then we'd end up with a person who didn't have more than 20% of the vote, so which means the vast majority of Californians would be rejecting that person. It makes it difficult to sell the system and when you don't have a person with the majority vote. So we're going to look at that. I've had many individuals who've come to me. I've already begun some conversations with our legislators in a bipartisan way. What can we do to really make it a system that we believe in, that's effective, and that is fair? And we're going to do some work on that, and hopefully we will bring some change and a constitutional amendment to California.
Well, you got a busy day to get through today first, though. And California Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you for being on the show. We hope we can have you back sometime soon.
I'm sure you will. Thank you very much. I appreciate being with you.
Within 30 days, though. We got
yeah.
Before 30 days. Before 30 days. Yes.
Okay. It's a deal.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.